The time has come for us to finally prepare and smoke our pork belly. Bacon, bacon. Because this pork belly has been basically sitting in a pool of salt water, we're going to wash it off, dry it, and then we're going to let it air dry before we smoke it. Because this has been sitting in our cure for so long, we're not really going to lose any of the flavor. It's already been, that maple's already made its way into the meat here. So now we have our belly on a drying rack, and the goal here is to drive off more moisture so the smoke goes directly into the meat and we don't have to cook the water from the outside. The other thing that I just think is so amazing, it's been 10 days since this thing's been sitting in my refrigerator, and look at the color of the meat. It still looks nice and pink. Definitely important to put this one back on the bottom shelf in the refrigerator, pretty close to those pop cans, but I was very careful that it didn't touch. A couple hours. Do you absolutely have to let it dry for these couple hours? No, but we've spent so much time and effort in doing this, I want to make sure we do it the right way all the way through. If you think of your meat having a tiny layer of water around the outside, the smoke and flavor is going to be absorbed by that water. Then as that water evaporates off, it's going to take the flavor. But because we're letting our meat dry out more in the refrigerator, we're removing that layer of water, and so now the smoke can just go directly into the meat and start flavoring our bacon. And you know me, anything I can do to make stuff taste better and add more flavor, I'm in. Ladies and gentlemen, the time is upon us. Bacon, bacon. So I've set our smoker to 195. And the first thing we're going to do is add ice. So the heating element is at the very bottom. Right above it is where the wood chips go. And here we're going to have the ice, and here will be the bacon. The reason for the ice is I need the heat at the bottom to start the wood chips and get the smoke going, but I want to keep the chamber as cool as possible to smoke it for long. So the one big slab was too big, so we cut it into two pieces. We're going to rotate top and bottom at about the halfway point. Going with the blend of apple and cherry wood. We're going to add this about every 60 to 90 minutes. And away we go. All right, time to check in. So seeing that we're already pretty close to 150, 155, we're gonna leave these in here for maybe another 30 minutes. I'm not gonna bother flipping them. And yeah, so I am a little surprised how quickly it's cooking, but not complaining. And I was getting not the best smoke before, but now we got that turned up for the last little bit here. You can't see the smoke because it's so windy today, but when we started, like an idiot, I had this basically closed and there wasn't enough air. Now we've opened it up and got a good smoke coming. And nailed it. We're done. With the fat still being slightly melted and easy to cut, we're going to remove the skin in the top layer here. So it turns out it is not that difficult to take off the skin post-cooking, so lesson learned there. And you can see here, I mean, it's almost translucent, so you're really not losing very much of what you're cutting off there. And obviously having an insanely sharp Japanese knife that's like as long as my arm makes things a little simpler. Love this knife. So sadly that's it for now for the bacon. We're going to let this cool and then put it in the refrigerator at least overnight. Putting in the refrigerator is going to do a couple things. One, you can see all this fat is liquid. We want that to solidify, so when we throw it in the pan it's nice and crispy. The other thing I'm coming to learn as I use my smoker more and more is the leftovers tend to taste smokier than when I freshly take them out. My theory is much like how we're going to let the fat solidify. As those fats solidify, it takes the flavor and the smokiness from the outside and brings it to the inside of the meat. So I put the pork belly in the fridge for a couple hours. You can see here the fat's solidified. It's nice and white in there. So ultimately what causes our bacon to lose its flavor and go bad is exposure to light, heat, and oxygen. But I have a solution. Vacuum sealing is the perfect solution. Throw them in a vacuum sealed bag, removes the oxygen, put them in the refrigerator, removes the light and heat. So if you've ever heard the term of rancid or something going rancid, that's because a fat was exposed to light, heat, and oxygen. Simple fix. Now I'm going to store some of these in the freezer because I'm not going to get to them for a while. Got those in there. And now I got some in a Ziploc bag, which I'm going to cook up tomorrow and see how it turned out. And then another vacuum sealed that we'll keep in the fridge and get to after. Put this in here. So there you have it. We'll see how the bacon turned out tomorrow morning. 10 days of curing. We started with the dry rub that turned into a brine. Smoked it for 3 hours. So check back tomorrow morning where I'm going to make some breakfast and good chance I'll make a cup of coffee. Hope you guys have a great night. I'm just kidding. Screw the coffee. I just want the bacon. Bacon, bacon, bacon. Now that, my friends, is thick cut bacon. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I could watch frying bacon all day. Maybe I'll just fry bacon all day. And there you have it. Our 10-day cured brown sugar maple bourbon home smoked bacon. So I've seriously yet to even try this. This is my first bite of the whole thing. Oh my God. I seriously can't even describe the intensity and the type of flavor. Like, this is nothing like you get in a store. Obviously, I think because I cut this meat so thick, yes, it has a good chew to it. But because we butchered this meat ourselves, we were able to leave a lot of the meat that might have been left on the ribs, which we also had and ate and were delicious, but now we were able to leave them on our bacon for more meaty. Super delicious, flavor bomb explosion, homemade bacon. Can't tell you how happy I am how this came out. One other huge bonus to this bacon for my health conscious and minded viewers is I didn't use nitrates or pink salt when I cured the bacon. So really it's home cut, maple, brown sugar, bourbon, nitrate-free, apple cherry wood smoked bacon. And because we bought the whole large pork belly with the bones in, it only cost us $3.50 a pound. I'm so happy. It's so crazy how much of the bourbon comes through and even a little bit of the alcohol-y note. All right, you guys have a great day. I'm eating bacon.